Ciao Bianconeri! Hello, and welcome back, everybody, to the Bianconeri Show. We are very excited to be back. I am Juve AJ, and with me once again is my lovely co-host Martina. Martina, Juve designer, how you doing?
I'm doing good as always.
It's amazing to be back with you guys. We had some issues in the past week that we were trying to resolve until we can go ahead and continue with this podcast. But we are back, and be ready because there will be a weekly show.
Yes. We are back and stronger. Now Serie A started, so there is a lot to talk about.
Let's go ahead and get started with the match day number 1. Juve faced Parma in an away game. It was a 1-0 victory for Juventus, but I think it could have been a lot more goals scored by Juve.
Definitely. We had a lot of chances during this game, mostly Ronaldo. He had like 7, but only one went in, sadly.
Yeah, so Juve started the game in a typical 4-3-3 Sarri ball formation. Szczesny in the net, De Sciglio on the right flank, Bonucci and Chiellini as the center backs, Alexandro on the left, Khedira, Pjanic, and Matuidi in the center mid, and Ronaldo, Higuain, and Douglas Costa up top.
It was a little bit weird to see Matuidi in the starting lineup, in my opinion, since all the preseason games he did not play in the starting lineup. But, I mean, basically Juve played with the old players, none of the new ones, except, Higuain, but he was, on a Juve player before. But what do you think of the lineup? Were you expecting it to be like this? Did you expect to see any new player in the starting lineup?
Yeah, in part, I expected most of the players who started to start. For example, the backline and Pjanic and Khedira, as there has been a lot of talk about Sarri really liking Khedira and wanting him to stay. The biggest surprise for me was that, as you said, Matuidi starting over Rabiot, since we saw Rabiot play almost all the preseason games. He was one of the players with the most minutes in preseason, and he was showing a lot of potential and a lot of good play. So I think Sarri being sick and not being able to be at the game influenced a lot in the starting 11. Obviously, we have 2 tough fixtures to start the Serie A campaign. Obviously, Parma was the first challenge, which we got through, and then Napoli coming up. But I think Juve are playing it safe, at least until after the international break, when Sarri is back, and we can start experimenting with some of these new players.
The first Serie A goal of this season was scored by the one and only Chiellini. Not the most beautiful goal, a little bit of crazy goal, those Chiellini goals are always a little bit sketchy, but it was still beautiful, still a goal, still super happy, and mostly that our captain scored.
Yeah, it was an amazing first goal for Chiellini, our captain, to get that first goal, not only for Juve but for the start of the Serie A 2019-2020 campaign. I was really happy when I saw him score because I actually got his away jersey, his new one. So I think I made a good investment on that end.
It was the lucky charm.
Of course. Other than Chiellini's goal, we did see Ronaldo miss a couple of chances. In the first half, he had a clear header that he usually simply tucks into the back of the net.
A beautiful pass by Khedira.
A beautiful pass by Khedira. We also saw one where we had a nice build-up play, and Ronaldo was pretty much one-on-one with the goalie, and his shot went far left on the wide.
That one was a beautiful, that Sarri ball between the players.
Sarri ball. We saw Higuain getting involved. I really liked him in this game. He was really, it felt like there was a lot of chemistry there in the build-up, and him being able to make those key passes to Ronaldo.
Yeah, he was doing an amazing job as a 9, holding the players, making those passes to Ronaldo, and Douglas as well.
Yeah, I was surprised how well Higuain played. In the preseason, he wasn't too strong, but I think he's finding his role in the team now that it's pretty clear that he's not going to leave. And I mean, if he keeps playing like that and he plays like that against, the bigger teams in the big moments, then, I'm not complaining.
Definitely, I don't know if you guys remember, but Higuain had a lot of emotional problems in the past with him being kicked out of the team, then moving to another one and another one. So now if he feels like more safe since he's at Juve and he's staying, then maybe that will definitely make an impact,
For sure. And then finally we saw that Ronaldo disallowed goal by VAR. The first was canceled by VAR. I was so mad, especially when we saw that offside. It was just,
I don't know.
I don't know. Like, the technology is there, and if his shoulder was where the VAR official put it, then okay, it's all right that it was disallowed. But I don't know. I mean, VAR still has humans interacting with it and putting, the offside lines on the shoulders. That's all human. It's not a computer that's doing that, and so there's always margin for error. But we saw a similar one with a Manchester City game 2 weeks ago. So, if VAR is doing the right thing, it's a controversy that I think will get solved throughout the season and throughout the next upcoming seasons. But I don't know. It was such a beautiful goal. I was so sad when I saw it disallowed.
Yeah, because that Douglas made that tremendous run, like half of the field, and then just have it, disallowed by VAR. It was just sad.
Especially when we see some terrible calls in VAR. But we'll get to that a little bit later.
Yeah, so the first half of the game ended 1-0 for Juventus. Then in the second half, there wasn't that much action. The team was barely playing, back to boring. Nothing really happened. We had a couple changes. Khedira was substituted by Rabiot, and Douglas Costa by Cuadrado, and then Higuain by Bernardeschi. There was a lot of, controversy about Bernardeschi coming in and not Dybala. What do you think?
Yeah, I think he went a little more defensive towards the end of the game to try and seal that result. I was surprised to see Cuadrado in for Douglas Costa. Maybe he could have put in Bernardeschi and then Dybala the last 10 minutes in for Higuain. But, it's not Sarri making the changes. I'm sure he has a little bit of hand in it, but I think we're just playing it safe for this first match at least until Sarri gets back, and we're going to actually start to see this Sarri ball football style play.
Hopefully against Napoli.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting game against Napoli, which we will get to soon. So I just wanted to mention some key game stats. We actually had 61.4% possession. Obviously, with Sarri ball, possession is key factor of the game. I expect that number to rise a little bit as the season goes on. We had total passes 510 with 88.6% pass accuracy, which is pretty good, don't you think?
Yeah, it's a big number to have. I don't remember to have such a high number before.
Yeah, of those 510 passes, 85 of them came from Pjanic with 91% accurate passes and 2 key passes. So it's nice to see that Pjanic is, filling that role that maybe Jorginho had at Sarri's Napoli and at Sarri's Chelsea. So that kind of that regista role that he's going to fill into, during the season.
Yeah, Sarri wants Pjanic to have, the most passes in the game and be active, in all the plays. So definitely those numbers are just going to go up.
One thing that I think Juve is lacking in, I spoke about it a little bit in the last podcast, we're not finishing, man.
Always.
We had 14 total
always
shots.
have that problem.
We had 14 total shots. Only 4 of them were on target. Obviously, Ronaldo missed a couple key chances that he could have easily put into the back of the net on one of his best days. He had one chance with a beautiful strike with his left foot that the goalie was able to save. But 14 shots. We should be getting more on target, and we should be getting way more goals. They're going to be necessary, especially during these big matches when we play Napoli, when we play Champions League football. So that's one thing that I think Sarri is going to be working on, during these next few weeks.
That problem has been in Juve for a long time. And as of right now, nobody solved it. We brought in Ronaldo. Yes, he made a difference, but those goals are still not there.
I think they're coming. I think.
They better be.
Soon enough, we're gonna be scoring a lot of goals in games, especially with Douglas Costa. The way he's handling the ball, it's pretty amazing. Making those passes into Ronaldo and this tiki-taka style play with Higuain, Douglas, the midfield. I like it. I like the way the team played. The second half was a little more boring. I think we were protecting the result a little bit too much. But we still had a couple chances that we could have easily ended the game 3 or 4-0.
One player that actually stood out in this game that a lot of people don't like and are always complaining is De Sciglio. I don't know where all the hate is for him. He's a good player. He's not the best one, but he's a good player. And in this game, his stats proved it. He had 87% accurate passes, 100% duels won, the most out of all the players, 100% dribbles succeeded, and 2 clearances. These are very good stats.
Yeah, on the defensive end, I think he was pretty good. He had, like you said, he had a 7 out of 7 duels won, which is pretty good on the defensive end, but I don't know. I still think he's lacking on the offensive end. His passes sometimes aren't as accurate. His decision making, in that final third needs some work. But I don't know. Now that Cancelo's gone, he definitely has a chance to be that starting right back for Juve. Obviously, he's received a lot of criticism. He used to be, this prospect as a young player. He really didn't fit into those shoes that people were kind of expecting him to fit into. But with Danilo now, who's more of an offensive player, I think they're gonna take turns in that right back role depending on their opponent and how Sarri wants to play. If he wants a more defensive game or if he wants a little bit more attacking from his right back.
Yeah, that will definitely change between games depending on who the other team is and how the other team play,
Yeah, so overall, I think Juve had a pretty good game. Obviously, we only got 1 goal, but we saw that we could have easily had 3-4 just from Ronaldo in that first half. But going forward, we cannot lose that many chances in the box. But now moving on to the other Serie A games that we saw this weekend. It seems like Serie A is going to be pretty interesting this year.
I'm excited. I say it every year, but I think this year is going to be the one. I think this year there is going to be more competition, more than last year, more than the year before. I think this one is going to be the year of Serie A.
Yeah, we've said it the past few seasons when we see that, these rival teams are getting stronger. I'm hoping that the Serie A is interesting this year. Obviously, last year, Juventus won it with a lot of games to spare. The year before, Napoli bottled it. But Juventus have been winning for 8 seasons straight, and I hope this is the 9th. But yeah, we saw some interesting games. We saw Napoli with a 4-3 win over Fiorentina. Milan took a loss to Udinese away, 1-0. We saw an incredible comeback by Atalanta in a 3-2 win. And that Inter game 4-0 against Lecce.
There have been very good games in this first match day. Mostly Napoli-Fiorentina was an absolutely crazy game. Very controversial and crazy. And Inter is already claiming, they're going to win just because they won 4-0. But there is a lot to go still.
Yeah, it really bothered me, reading all these comments that, oh, wow, Inter won 4-0. I'm like, come on. It was, okay, they had a good victory against a team who just came up. 4-0, they had a red card. After it was 2-0, it was pretty much over. Inter fans are claiming the Scudetto after only one match day.
Pathetic.
There's 37 games left. Come on.
Yeah, chill.
Wait
Inter.
until you play one of the big boys in the league, and then then we can start talking. But we saw Lukaku score his first official goal for Inter. They also scored 3 other goals. But I think the main attraction game this week was that Napoli-Fiorentina game.
What? Let me tell you, if you haven't watched it, I think you all know what happened to that game. I don't even know where to start. It was pathetic all the way. A game that was literally decided by the referee and VAR.
Yeah, so Napoli-Fiorentina, 4-3 win for Napoli away. Very, very controversial game. Terrible refereeing all throughout the game. So Fiorentina went up 1-0 after a VAR decision to give them a penalty, which it was very controversial. It was a handball inside of the box, but as a Fiorentina player kind of kneed the ball up, it hit a Napoli player's hand. It was just a really controversial call. The commentators were saying it was a ridiculous call. But eventually, the ref went and took a look at the video replay, and he ended up giving the penalty. So Fiorentina scored their first goal off of that first penalty. Then Mertens came back down the other side and scored a beautiful goal from outside the box. And then the real madness started. That penalty call on Mertens.
Let me tell you, if this happened to Juve, like if Juve was Napoli in that game and all of that VAR happened to us, oh my God. Everyone in Serie A would have already started Juventus out of Serie A, kicked them out of the league. They always steal everyone. This is pathetic. I'm so mad.
Yeah, it was a terrible, terrible call by the referee. If you haven't seen that replay, go and watch it. I cannot tell you how angry I was when I was watching that video replay. And I could not believe that they did not go and check it on VAR. It is clear that Mertens pretty much trips. He trips over air.
Oh my God.
Not only that, first of all, it was not a penalty at all. Second of all, he should have gotten a yellow for that.
Yeah, because nobody touched him. He just fell.
It was ridiculous. One of the Fiorentina defenders went to go, head a ball to clear it. He was on the ground, and then, luckily Mertens got a ball that was near him. The Fiorentina defender was still on the ground. And then Mertens just saw that he was on the ground and decided to take a leap for it. It was worse than any of Neymar's dives that I've seen.
Way worse.
It was ridiculous.
Oh my God.
And the ref didn't even doubt it. He saw Mertens fall and immediately went to the penalty spot. VAR was talking to him for like 2 seconds, and then no, it was a penalty. And then Insigne, he pretty good penalty, but that was.
I thought that all the penalties were supposed to be checked by VAR. That's what I thought about VAR.
So it's technically viewed by the VAR officials, but they didn't tell the referee to go look at it on the video replay. So
how can someone not realize that was not a penalty?
It was definitely.
For real. I think even Napoli fans think that was not a penalty.
It was a ridiculous call. But yeah, Mertens didn't get sanctioned for that dive either. It was just
usually for faults. I mean, for things like that, Mertens should have
at least gotten a fine.
Yeah, something. But no, nothing.
Crazy.
If that happened to Juve, oh my god.
Yeah, that's one of the things that really bothered us. I mean, if a penalty like that was given to Juve, the entire Serie A would go crazy and start, bringing up everything that has happened in US past and all of this. But when Napoli,
literally everything would fall.
But when Napoli does it, it's fine. If Inter does it, it's fine. I mean,
anyone, if it happens to anyone, it's okay. It can go. But if it happens to Juve, oh my god.
But hey, that's what being the best
We're
is all
stronger,
about.
yeah. We are stronger, and if they want to come at us with fake dives and stuff like that, it's fine. It's fine. We will score you 2, 3, 4, 5 goals, and good ones. Be ready, Napoli. We're here for you.
After that, it was a pretty amazing game. Fiorentina came back with a 2-2 tie after a corner goal. Then Napoli, with their typical counter-attack, scored one on the break. Kevin Prince-Boateng made his debut for Fiorentina with an amazing goal off the left post. Then another counterattack by Napoli. And then the VAR madness did not stop. Ribery made his debut for Fiorentina. He was playing an okay match, but towards the end of the match, he got pulled down by the arm by one of the Napoli players right on the edge of the box. It was even debatable if it was inside of the box. And it was a clear grab of the arm. The player even put his knee down to
take him down.
To get more force to take Ribery down. And this game was just crazy ridiculous. I think the referee got suspended a few days later because of this just terrible refereeing.
I mean, it was so bad. This is another fault that literally, it was a fault like 100%. What was like hard to decide was whether it was outside or inside the box, but not if it was a fault or not. I mean, they should have taken their time to think if it was a fault, if it was inside or outside, but not if it was or not a fault. I mean, I don't know. That game made me so mad.
But Napoli ended up with the 3 points, sitting at the top.
Not deserved.
Sitting at the top with Juve, Inter, obviously, Torino, and a couple others. But overall, it was a really eventful Serie A weekend. Serie A had the most goals out of all of the leagues this weekend. And
then they tell us that we are,
only
good
defensive football.
we only defend and we don't score. But boom, here we are at the top with the most goals in European leagues.
Yeah, Serie A football is changing.
Finally, I'm excited.
We saw a couple games with 4+ goals, and it was a really exciting weekend.
Plus, there are big players joining the league. Of course, some of them are older, but they're big names now.
Yeah, so Lukaku is now at Inter. Alexis Sanchez just completed his season-long move to Inter. El Chucky Lozano, for the Mexican fans, he's now at Napoli. Ribery, obviously, is in Fiorentina with Boateng. Luis Muriel, Colombian, is now playing for Atalanta. He's been in a couple of Serie A teams. Balotelli made his comeback to Brescia. And obviously Juventus contracted Delit, Rabiot, and Ramsey.
And who knows? There's more to come. We have still a couple days.
The window is not over, so we're going to see what's going to happen in these next few days. There's been talks of maybe Dybala going back out due to PSG maybe selling Neymar to Barcelona, which I don't know what Barcelona is doing. They're giving up so much money to bring him back, and a bunch of players. Once that deal is official, it's gonna be interesting. The trickle effect that it's gonna take on not only the entire European market but also the Serie A teams. If Dybala were to leave, then does that open the doors for maybe Chiesa coming in, maybe Icardi coming in? There were talks of Icardi going out on a loan instead of being sold. but Icardi does not want to leave to any other team that is not Juventus. So I don't know. It's funny the way he's kind of just playing Inter. They offered him. Monaco offered for him 65 million plus 10 million just for Icardi. And I mean, Icardi's saying, nope, I'm going to stay right here. I'm going to collect my money.
He's chilling.
Yeah, unless you want to sell me or loan me out to Juve, I'm just going to collect my money.
I mean, he has nothing to lose.
But anyway, as we said, this Serie A season is looking very exciting. And to kick off week 2, we have a couple of exciting games. The first one being obviously Juventus Napoli.
Yes. Come at us.
The first Juventus home game of the season. And, what a way to kick off the new season at home versus Napoli.
Oh my God, I'm so excited about this game.
The title race has already started, and those 3 points are going to be crucial for Juventus.
They're coming at home.
We will be getting back to that in a minute, but there's another big game, the Roma Derby, which will be played on Sunday. And it was weird to see, these two big games being played on the same match day, since it was said that, there was only supposed to be one big game per match day. But hey, I'll take it.
Definitely a very big game. Both of them. I mean, usually these 4 teams are always, at the top. So it's going to be interesting to see, who's going to, after all, win, out of these 2 games.
Now, Roma has some ground to make up after they tied 3-3 their first game. And Lazio had a pretty convincing 3-0 victory away to Sampdoria. So, I think it's going to be a very good game.
It's going to be interesting, definitely. But talking about Juventus Napoli, huge game coming at us. I know it's early in the season. Sarri, it's not 100% sure that he will be there, but hopefully he is there. I mean, it's a huge game, very interesting. I'm excited to see how he's going to line up the team.
Of course. I mean, Sarri versus his team that is in his heart, the team that he coached for a couple of years. But hey, you're a Juventus coach now. You have to show up and win. Hopefully he's available for the game. And the lineup, I think the team is going to go very, very similar to the team that started versus Parma. Maybe change or two. I would put in Rabiot for Matuidi. Give us a little more attacking play and a little more physicalness in the midfield. But in defense, I think it's going to stay the same, and in attack, the same. I mean, I don't see De Ligt starting. I know there's a lot of controversy. We paid a bunch of money for this kid, which is, obviously we paid a lot of money. But, with this new team, this new style of play, especially with 2 big matches to start out, I think Sarri's just playing it safe for now. I mean, De Ligt obviously has what it takes to be a starting center back for Juventus. But I think the fans just have to be a little bit more patient. De Ligt is patient. I mean, he said after the game versus Parma that, he's going to wait for his turn. His turn will come. And he's being patient. Why shouldn't the fans also be patient?
Yeah, we have to be supportive and trust the coach, trust the people that actually know the players, the people that are there with the players daily. So that's all we have to do. Trust and support. That's it. That's why we are fans.
As long as we get these first 6 points before the international break, I think we're going to be good to go.
I mean, it's important to get these 3 points against Napoli. That's what I really care about. I hope we play, beautiful football, Sarri ball, and bring those points home. It's important.
Do you think there's going to be any other change to the starting 11?
I think I'm totally with you. I think nothing will change except probably Matuidi out and Rabiot in. That's what I hope if we need a change. I don't think we need a change anywhere else except that.
Now, I'm disappointed that Ramsey is injured again.
I mean, that guy keeps getting injuries and injuries. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, it's disappointing. It's this big player. We're paying a lot of money in salary, and now he wasn't in the traveling squad versus Parma because he's having some back pains. I just hope he recovers enough, on time for the Champions League.
I hope so as well. If not, who knows? I mean, we're paying this player so much, and if he's only gonna have injuries, I mean, I don't know.
All right, so what's your match prediction for this Juve Napoli game?
I'm expecting a lot of goals in this game, hopefully, because that's what I like. So I think Napoli is gonna score 2 on us. They are going to start by scoring 1, and then we're going to have a comeback with the one and only, the GOAT, Ronaldo. And then Napoli is going to score back at us, and then we are going to have 2 other goals by Higuain and Douglas Costa. So basically 3-2 for us with Ronaldo, Higuain, and Douglas. What about you?
I think a little differently. I think it's going to be a more conservative game, unlike that Napoli-Fiorentina game. I think we'll win 2-0, 1 goal from Ronaldo, and I think Dybala will come in as a sub and score as well.
You don't think Napoli's going to come back? I mean...
I think we saw some defensive issues from Juve, especially during preseason. But I don't know. I think we're solid in the defense, and with Chiellini back and Bonucci beside him, Alexandro was really strong versus Parma, and De Sciglio was really strong versus Parma defensively. I think we're gonna hold up that starting lineup of Insigne, Mertens, and then whoever plays on the right, whether it be Callejon or their new man Chucky Lozano.
I think we had a little bit of problems in defense against Parma. It was not only on preseason, so I mean, it's not that I don't trust the backline, but I feel like Napoli has a very strong attacking, and I feel like they're going to score on us.
I agree. I think they have a strong attack, one of the strongest in the league, but, when you have Chiellini in the back and Bonucci and Szczesny, who has been very good in goal, I don't know. I think we'll keep our second clean sheet of the season.
Do you think Napoli has the strongest attacking trio or Inter or Juve?
Not Inter. I think.
You don't think Inter with Lukaku, Alexis,
and who else?
Lautaro Martinez?
I don't think those 3 will ever play together, unless they, Conte goes in a weird formation. But I think Juve has the best attack. I mean, we have Cristiano Ronaldo, which is undoubtedly one of the best players in the world, if not the best. We have Douglas Costa, who has proved in these last few games that, now that he's healthy, he's going to be one of the key players in the Juve attacking force. And then, we have Higuain, who has been playing very well, linking up plays to Ronaldo and Douglas Costa. And then if Higuain doesn't play, we have Dybala on the bench. And if Dybala doesn't play, then we have Bernardeschi.
Mandzukic. Yeah, I mean, we still have him.
A lot of players who can come into the game and change the game if necessary. But I think Juve has the best attack in the entire league.
Definitely we're going to see that in the upcoming games. I mean, against Napoli, we're going to see how our 3 attackers are going to play, and, the other teams as well.
And imagine, Ronaldo, Dybala, Douglas Costa up top. Oof.
I'm excited. I mean, we haven't seen those 3 players really playing together, so hopefully.
Yeah, I really want to see, if Dybala stays, I really want to see him in that false 9 role, which is where he really strives. So I think if he does play there and Sarri, kind of accommodates the system to him and Ronaldo at the same time, it's just a force to be reckoned with. I mean, that starting lineup is going to be insane.
Nobody's gonna be able to stop us.
Now let's move on to Champions League. August 29th, that is the day of this recording, was the Champions League group stage draw. Juventus, if you don't know yet, is in Group D with Atletico Madrid. Bayern Leverkusen, and Lokomotiv Moscow. So we will be traveling to Madrid for our first Champions League matchup on Wednesday, September 18th.
Back in Madrid.
Yeah, so obviously we didn't make it to the final there last year, Atletico's brand new stadium. But, you know, if we play the way that we played against them during that preseason game, obviously we lost that game. But at the same time, we played amazing football. You know, it was crazy that we didn't score more goals than we did.
I agree, but at the same time, it was just a preseason game. I don't even think we have to consider that game at all. I think Atletico Madrid has an amazing team. I mean, they are very good this year, but we are as well. I don't think we need to take into consideration that game just because it was preseason. We didn't have all the players. They didn't as well. There were a lot of changes, you know. It was just preseason. So I'm excited to see that game. I'm a little bit scared because, you know, they have Joao Felix and very big players as well. So it's gonna be a good game.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good game. Obviously, maybe Cristiano scores a hat trick and does the Simeone celebration.
We're gonna see who has biggest cojones.
But yeah, I think the group is pretty fair. Bayer Leverkusen obviously has some pretty talented players like Kai Havertz and some other attacking players in there. So I definitely think there's competition, but this is a group that we can come out as the head of the group and then, you know, hopefully go on to Istanbul and get that trophy back.
Let's give our prediction, not only for the first game, but also for the group. Like, who's going to be first, second, third, fourth?
Okay, go for it.
I mean, first, Juve, of course. I believe in the team. I think we are going to make it. Then Atletico Madrid, obviously, is going to be second. Third, Bayern Leverkusen. And fourth, Lokomotiv Moscow.
I think the same. I mean, obviously, I'm pulling for Juve to come out ahead of the group. It's not going to be easy by any means. Atletico are very strong this year, but I think Juve will pull it off. Especially we have some good matchups. After that away game at Madrid, we have 2 home games, and then we go away to Russia. So it's gonna be an interesting few months to see where we end up in the Champions League table. What about the Juve Atletico Madrid predictions?
I think it's going to be a tie, either 1-1 or 2-2, which is good for us.
Yeah. Any points away at Atleti Madrid will obviously be helpful towards getting that top spot. I'm going to go 1-0 with a goal from the man himself, CR7.
Damn, so you think we're gonna get those 3 points away?
I do think so. I think Juve should end up with at least 12 or 15 points in this group. So we can get those. If we can get those first 3 points away at Atleti, it's gonna be, you know, a good kind of bed to base ourselves off of for this Champions League.
Yeah, I mean, definitely a lot of exciting stuff coming up. I mean, this weekend already, and next week's for Champions League. I'm excited to see the list for Champions League as well. See which players are gonna be in the list, which players are gonna be out.
So 3 players have to go out. As of right now, it's looking like it's gonna be Mandzukic, Rugani, and then one more. Who do you think that one player will be?
Very, very hard to say. In my opinion, wow, I don't know. I mean, maybe Bentancur.
Oh, wow. I wasn't expecting that.
I mean, Matuidi, if he doesn't leave, he's going to be in the squad. Ramsey is going to be. Rabiot is going to be. Khedira, obviously, is going to be. Pjanic as well. So then we need a midfielder to be, you know, out of the squad. And who else is going to be? Who are you going to take out? Pjanic, you're going to take out Matuidi, you're going to take out Rabiot, you're going to take out Ramsey.
It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to choose one of those players to get out. If we don't sell anybody, I think it'll come down to who's injured and who's not.
Obvious. I mean, if Ramsey is gonna be injured for the rest of his life,
Don't say that.
I mean, not that. I'm saying catching injuries after injuries, then it's gonna be him. But I don't think that's gonna happen. I think he's gonna get better, and I think he's gonna play, and I think he's gonna make an impact in the team. So that's why I'm not having him out. So the one that's missing is Bentancur, young player, not a lot of experience. So I'm sorry.
It's gonna be a tough call for Sarri. But anyways, guys, hit us up. Tell us what you think the Napoli-Juve game is gonna end up as, and then whatever you think the Juve-Atleti game is gonna be.
And also let us know who you think might be the third player to be out of the list.
Yeah, for sure. So be on the lookout. The next episode should be out on Sunday after the Juve-Napoli game. We are going to try our hardest to record. There is a hurricane coming to Florida where we are located, but we will try our hardest to get this episode 6, the one after the Napoli game, out before that hurricane comes and potentially knocks out the power. So be on the lookout for that. Be sure to follow us on our social media. You can follow me at JuveAJ on Twitter or at Juve.aj on Instagram. You can follow Martina at Juve Designer on all platforms. Also, we are going to be releasing some merch soon. It's going to be Bianconero wear. You can find that on Instagram. There's going to be some awesome new shirts, some graphics with Dybala on it. So be on the lookout for that. And as always, you can find us on all your podcasting platforms. And for sure, follow us at Facebook at The Bianconeri Show, on Instagram at The Bianconeri Show, and on Twitter at Bianconeri Show. That's where we will post all updates on new episodes, some news, and some great graphics from Juve Designer.
That is also where you can contact us for any questions, any thoughts, any feedback, anything you want. Also, we started a YouTube channel, so follow us there as well. Thank you for listening. We'll see you on the next one.
Ciao, Bianconeri!